All right, so next up, we're going into our next segment being lookups, VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. Now, VLOOKUP searches up the specific values in a table and returns the opposing value from adjacent columns. And HLOOKUP has the exact same functionality as VLOOKUP, but instead it looks at the data in a table horizontally. So easy way to remember this is the V in VLOOKUP refers to vertical. So VLOOKUP is looking at the columns of a table set, and H in HLOOKUP refers to horizontal. So you're looking at the rows of the data set. Now, it's not exactly easy to explain that in words, so I think it'll be better to show you instead. So what I have here is a table of students along with their grades in certain courses. So what we want to do is classify each student's grades of pass, fair, good, and excellence. Only we also need to make sure of which courses corresponds with accounting, which courses corresponds with the grading criteria. So let's take Austin Adams here. He is majoring in supply chain management, just like I did. And he has a score of 122. So, so of course, since his major is not accounting, we're going to be looking at this table here to check his grade. But obviously, we can't apply that to all students in this table, because if you scroll down here, you'll find that there are a bunch of students who have accounting as their major. So we need to have to base their grade on the accounting grade criteria. So this is where the VLOOKUP comes in. So what we're going to do is we are going to type our VLOOKUP statements. So we'll type it as, hopefully you have this open up and following along. As I said before, it's easier to remember when you're doing it rather than just watching and listening. So we'll type equals VLOOKUP parentheses. So we need to first look at their score. So D11 for their score column. And then if B11, which is their major, if their major is accounting, then we will have Excel look at the accounting grade table. But if it is not, we will have Excel look at the non-accounting grade table. And this last part is the range lookup. So you're telling Excel which column to look at. So we're going to type 2 for the second column of this range. So click parentheses and then click enter. And we have all of our grades listed down here. So Austin had a supply chain management major and score is 122, which is greater than 120. So he is marked as excellent. Now, if you scroll down and look at the accounting segments, let's look at, say, the good grading criteria. See if it's 115. All right, so here we have 115. That's good for Michelle has 115, so that's good. But let's look here. Kayla and Eisenman has an accounting grade of 114, which is fair. It's not 115, so it's fair. If she was not in accounting, then she would have a good grade. But unfortunately, she's in accounting, and Of course, accounting is very painful. Now, before we get to the questions here, I wanted to have you take a look at accounting. Sorry, have a look at here. So what you notice is that the tables are now arranged in rows rather than columns. So let's take a moment to look what happens if we use the VLOOKUP statement here. We'll type down exactly what we did in the first worksheet. So VLOOKUP B11 and counting non-counting grade have 2, and then let's see what happens if we click enter. Okay, looks like everybody has hundreds. Seems legit. No, I'm just kidding. So what happened here was that what we did was have Excel use the VLOOKUP statements and looked at only the columns, not the rows. So with Austin here, he is, of course, supply chain management major, non-accounting. So we had Excel look at the second column of this table, and he was marked with 100. And in accounting, it looks like everyone was marked as 105. Now that is incorrect. So how we need to fix this is we need to look at the tables horizontally. So we make it H lookup. And let's see what happens when we click enter. All right, now that looks more like it. So yeah, as I said before, VLOOKUP is vertical. It looks at the columns, but if there are cases where the table is more arranged into rows, you need to use HLOOKUP. Now, before we end this, I want to take a moment to mention these questions here. Let's look at this first one. The name of the 50th student based on the given sort finds the name of the 50th students based on the given sorting rules. So what this is asking is to look for the 50th student listed here. So this is where we use what is called the index function. What index does is that it looks through a data set and immediately takes up and lists the information that you're looking for. So how it works is we click equals index, parentheses, and then table G. Yeah, that's what I named the table ahead of time. We named it, or rather I named it table G. And then use the brackets name because we are looking for a specific name in this column. And then we click or type 50 because we're looking for the 50th name on the list. So click enter. And it looks like the 50th name on the list is Ashley Nicole Barber. Now, there's also another way you can type it. It says equals index table G. Now what you can do is type 50 and then, as you can see here, you're clicking the row number 50, which is the 50th row in this table, comma, column number 1, which is the name column, and enter. You get the same result. Next question is the score of the student whose last name starts with Matzes. I believe that's how you pronounce it. So this one, this is where you need to use what's called the match function. So what match does is it tells Excel to find an exact match with whatever you wanted to find. So let's try it out. So type down index, parentheses. So table G is where we're looking at. So we need to find, so we're looking for the score of the student whose last name is Matthews. So score, we're looking at the score column. Then this is where we use the match function. because we're trying to find this matrice. So make sure you add your quotation marks, matrice. Also forgot to mention, make sure you add a asterisk here, so that's just in case. Sorry, so we want Excel to look for names that start with Matisse. We're not looking for those whose last name is just Matisse. Like, for all we know, someone could have a last name that starts with Matisse and have other letters in their name. So there could be multiple names on this list that have Matisse in their last name. So we're adding asterisk to make sure Excel is looking for all those values. So Matisse, asterisk, quotation mark, table G, and brackets, name, and then last part is the match type. We want an exact match, so we click 0 for absolutely no differences. We want exact match. So, and then finish off with the parentheses and click enter, and we have 103. That is the score of the student whose last name starts with Matisse. Now this last segment here lists the name and section of the students with the highest score. Now this one, again, this will be using both the index and match functions. So let's get started. So index table G. Now we want to look for the name. First part, we're looking for the name. So bracket name, then match. So this is where we're trying to find the one with the highest score. So we need to use max for maximum. And then again, we type table G, bracket score, because we're looking for the maximum score, brackets, parentheses, and then table G, score, and this is where we're looking for the, oops, hold on a second, I just made a mistake. Yeah, wrong bracket, sorry. The score, we want an exact match, so 0, parentheses, and the one with the highest score is Kelly Joanna Baxley. Now we want to find out the section, so let's find that. It's a bit of a similar formula, so index table G, but instead of looking for the name, we are looking for the section. Oops. So match, max score, and then table G, bracket, score, parentheses, and then table G, score. We want an exact match, so 0, no differences, and Kelly is in section 504. So the match and index function is going to be very useful when you want to try and find a specific information in a table that's this large, one that's you're not going to have any time just scrolling through and trying to frantically search for that specific information. So this will definitely be useful whenever, say, your boss needs you to find some specific name or number in a table set. So yeah, hopefully this will prove to be very useful in the future for you. All right, so that's going to be it for lookups. Now, next will be macros with Crystal. All right, bye.